Welcome into a Breeders' Cup reaction edition of BloodHorse Monday. My name is Louie Rabaut. He's Sean Collins. We are back from Del Mar. We're back in the studio. Not as nice as the studios we got to work in at Del Mar, but hey, back to work. Yeah, back to work here in the Commonwealth here in Kentucky. Appreciate everyone who hung out with us as part of our BloodHorse at the Breeders' Cup series. And we want to thank FanDuel for hanging out with us on this episode as well. Wherever you are, download their app right now for FanDuel Racing. And hey, bet those races all over the world, frankly, with our friends at FanDuel and FanDuel Racing. Appreciate them jumping on for this episode, Sean. And we're back. You haven't been on the backside of Churchill Downs for a week. And so I think
I was in an okay place. Excuse that.
I just wanted to put it out there to open the show. If you work at Churchill and haven't seen this man, he's okay.
Yes, I'm
alive.
alive.
You will see him tomorrow. Welcome back, brother. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be back in Kentucky, although I am missing that California sun already. It's just
that's so different.
I know the Breeders' Cup. This is something when the first time I ever had the opportunity to be on the backstretch of the Breeders' Cup was at Keeneland in 2022.
Okay,
and still to this day, every single year, it just amazes me when I'm out there watching every single morning. You just see top horse go right by you.
Yeah.
Grade 1 winner, multiple grade 1 winner. Oh, there's a European horse who won the Guineas going right past you.
Right.
Like just the amount of talent that you see, just one after another, walking through the barn, seeing just star after star after star after star, stall after stall after stall. And it's just incredible. It's for me, it's now I gotta kind of come down from that high. It's gonna be kind of a disappointing couple days, but we'll get back out there. We'll see the horses tomorrow morning and I'll be fine. But
a lot of fun racing coming up too. Frankly, this time of year has gotten better. The Claiming Crown concept is awesome, and it makes
the little mini Breeders' Cup makes it a little easier to swallow the pill that the Breeders' Cup's over.
But similar payouts to the Breeders' Cup. Like it's as difficult to handicap as the Breeders' Cup, which I totally appreciate. And then we get Clark Day up here at Churchill Downs. There's Cigar Mile Day still to come.
2-year-old racing at Churchill starts at tomorrow, card number 2.
And then Malibu Day out at Santa Anita. We still, before the end of the year, plenty to talk about. Of course, we'll do it every week here on BloodHorse Monday. But you mentioned getting back to reality here, but I think it's worthwhile for us to recap what happened this weekend. If you are interested in our thoughts on the Friday card, I certainly encourage you to go back and check out BloodHorse at the Breeders' Cup Saturday morning edition. Sharon and I, frankly, gave an instant reaction on Friday night. You'll see us in the shadows, racing. Legitimately in the shadows of Del Mar.
I don't even think it was the shadows. I think it was just straight up dark. But
shadows from a light, maybe a fixture outside of something. It wasn't the sun, though. You're right about
that. The first about probably 20 minutes of that episode is us recapping the Friday races, so make sure you check that out. And then if you want to see how well we picked the Saturday races after that, you can. I know I gave out both of the D'Angelo horses. I know you gave out Ethical Diamond.
Right.
So we had a pretty good weekend. We had some horses that we definitely did not have, but we had a pretty good weekend of kind of touching in on some of those. And I also just wanted to give a big thank you and a big shout out to our colleagues here at BloodHorse, Frank Anks, Byron King, and Bob E040 for all jumping in and helping out with that. Hopefully you all enjoyed getting to hear the different perspectives race by race, and great to be able to showcase some of the talent that we have here at BloodHorse.
You know, I heard from a couple of people, it is so, and they didn't phrase it exactly like this, but essentially those shows allowed people to meet the people that they've been reading for so long.
Yeah.
Right. So who is Byron King? Who is Frank Angst? Who's this guy, Bob E040, who I always see writing about Aqueduct and stuff. And then you get to see them on screen. And frankly, all three of them are pretty good on camera, which is like, hey, look at good. Great for us. I mean, unbelievable, because you and I are very mediocre. And so
I know we're going to be getting replaced here pretty soon. It's going to be the Bob E040 show.
I'm very worried about that. But getting to talk with them, you're totally right about that. The team out there, and frankly, Anna with her help and with her great photographing, all of the
Skip
team
as
that was
well.
out there. Skip out there.
Carolyn, Alex, all the
Jay Hubby was out
that
there.
Were up there. Jay Hubby, Tracy. Thank you to everybody on the BloodHorse
team effort for sure,
and everybody that was back home in Kentucky or wherever they're 100%. Working from, proofreading all these stories as we sent them in, watching all these videos. Yes, Pete Dank putting together the daily. Joe Perez was helping out with that as well, getting that daily up. I know that's always a super late night on these big days.
No doubt about it. Yes.
Getting everything put together. So just shout out to the whole team all the way around. Hopefully, if you were following along, not just here on the podcast, hopefully you were following along on the website as well. Just shout out to everybody at BloodHorse who made this weekend a success.
Saturday comes, Saturday goes, but it starts with Jose D'Angelo, and it starts with a double, and that is one of the big themes here. And you and I did a radio segment this morning on my local show here in Louisville, and I pointed out his career earnings trajectory. and how it is just slowly moving up year by year. And by slowly, I mean rapidly. And so it's been fun to watch his progression. Shisospicy goes on the turf, and it is rare, Sean, that you see a horse in the paddock of the Breeders' Cup, and you think, oh, that horse looks way better than everyone else.
Yes.
Because at the Breeders' Cup, guess how many horses look great?
All of them.
Literally all of them. They all look spectacular. By the way, that's one of the things about the Breeders' Cup. There's no trouble loading the gate.
Yeah.
Right. There's no, there's none of this like
nobody's hesitating. Nobody's walking in.
Everybody's like, oh, here's the job. I'm going. And so, but everybody also looks great in the paddock. She was so different and she ran like it.
Yeah, she was incredible in that race. I mean, she was blazing fast the entire way. Those 5 furlongs fit her perfectly, and she got up on the lead, and there was nothing you could do with that.
Once she broke, it was over.
Yeah, and it was. Really I went out. If you followed along on the BloodHorse YouTube channel, you saw a couple about, I think, probably 10 days before the race. I had a behind the scenes video on there of Shisospicy's final breeze for the race. Had a conversation with Jose D'Angelo that was part of that. What he told me outside of that conversation was if she gets the lead, they're not going to beat her. It's like, as long as she gets that clear path to the front, she's got that thing. They're not going to be able to catch her. Boy, was he right. And then
talk about knowing your horse, right?
30 minutes later, he comes back and he wins the Turf Sprint. And so that was just an incredible feat for his first 2 Breeders' Cup wins for sure.
Up for sale is Shisospicy.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people listen to us Tuesday morning, so make sure you check out the results of the sale to see what she sold for.
Should be really interesting there.
You got any extra cash laying around? You want to go buy her?
She's worth it.
I'd take her back to it's gonna be a Keeneland next year. She's already won there, so might as well, right?
Kentucky Downs.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 2.
Kentucky Downs horse to win a Breeders' Cup race. First 3-year-old filly to win the Turf Sprint. I know the Turf Sprint often a lot of years gets overlooked in the Breeders' Cup. I think this is a year where you can't overlook it. That was a phenomenal.
But her at AG Bullock coming out of that Kentucky Downs program, I think it's worth mentioning again. It's been brought up on this program before, but the new irrigation system there has changed the complexion of that course, where horses simply have to deal with the undulations and turns rather than maybe harsher, more conditions. Remember, they used to move the lanes so much before. Seems like they have to do a lot less of that. And the results are in. The Jessamine was dominated by Kentucky Downs horses. The Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, was also dominated by Kentucky Downs horses. Simply put, you put up purses, the best horses are going to show up, and then they're going to go win other races with really good purses as well. Followed up, and by the way, you will hear from trainer Jose D'Angelo with our guy Sean Collins. Caught up with him Sunday morning after the Saturday card. Bentornato goes ahead and wins. I complimented Jose for putting him in the Louisville Thoroughbred Society here, a listed stakes at Churchill Downs. They could have tried something considerably more difficult or higher. I don't know. But purse-wise, no. Go ahead, get the $300,000 purse.
They like the timing of it.
The timing of it made a ton of sense. It also allowed him, I don't want to call it a paid workout, nothing like that, because he finished in a time that was better than a workout. But it gave him some confidence. He was better than that field, right? Because eventually he was better than the Breeders' Cup Sprint field as well. And so I appreciated him getting that horse back out there at Churchill Downs just to get some confidence in him. Boy, it showed on Saturday.
Yeah, it showed on Saturday. I mean, where Shisospicy kind of got up to the front and got away from the field, he took some heat early. There were several horses going after him. Straight No Chaser was right there with him on the far turn. And boy, when they turned for home, he was still loaded. And he just kicked away as they turned for home. But it was impressive to watch. And I know I was confident. I think I may have said on the show, I forget if I said on the show the week right after that Louisville Thoroughbred Society Stakes win, that I thought he was the Breeders' Cup sprint winner. I believe I said that. I know Pete Dank, who I mentioned, our daily editor, he texted me when Bentornato crossed the finish line of the Louisville Thoroughbred Society. I think we just saw the Breeders' Cup sprint winner. And he went.
Pete Dank, man, plushie, let's go. Let's get it on.
But 28-1 in last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Great point.
He's off for 10 months, runs one prep race, and that earns him favoritism in this year's Breeders' Cup Sprint. So that just shows you how strong he was coming into this race, and boy, did he run to it.
Florida bred.
Yeah. Shout out to all the Florida breeders.
Shout out. Let's keep those programs rolling for sure down there, usually in the Ocala area, but hey, we appreciate our Florida breeders. I can't remember a horse. It's been a little while. Probably the spring. When I first saw Sovereignty in person after watching his races, I was like, I went to the Wood and the Bluegrass. I went to the Ruby, some other preps along the way for the Kentucky Derby, but I hadn't seen Sovereignty since the Street Sense. And then he showed back up, and I saw Bill Mott in his helmet, and he was riding out. And then this other horse followed him, and I went, "Who is that?" There's a build on that horse that that's Sovereignty. We're done here. Literally, that was my Derby pick, was just seeing him, knowing the results, of course, but seeing him, that made it very easy. Bentornato physically, my goodness, you'll see him a little bit. You'll see his face at least in the video with Jose D'Angelo. But man, just physically, Sean, that horse is everything you would want. He reminds me almost of Gun Runner, just in his build.
Yeah,
like that big, that muscular, really, really impressive.
Yeah, he's strong, and I've had the pleasure of being able to be up close with him at Saratoga, at Churchill, at Keeneland, at Del Mar, and he's held that the whole time, and he's only gotten stronger in those couple months that I have seen him, and he's just built with muscle. You can tell when you're next to him and you're looking at him, you can tell that he's a beast of a horse.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You could even see it on the turn. He looked bigger than Full Serrano, a Breeders' Cup winner by, frankly, a large margin. And so that was very, very impressive there. Well, here is Sean with Jose D'Angelo. After we hear from from Jose, we'll get back into our other recaps, including the Breeders' Cup Classic, of course, a watershed moment for Japan. Boy, and then the World Series later that night. Unbelievable. But yes, let's hear from Jose D'Angelo. Here's his interview with Sean the day after Bentornato and Shisospicy scored in the Breeders' Cup.
All right, back in here on BloodHorse Monday. I am joined at Del Mar by trainer Jose D'Angelo, also Bentornato, the Breeders' Cup sprint winner, right there behind us. Do anything fun this weekend, Jose? Anything cool happen?
I think we had a lot of fun yesterday. Probably we don't release yesterday what happened, but yes, definitely we had a lot of fun after a strong week, of hard work. We left Keeneland on Monday morning, and the flight got big delayed, a lot, so was a lot of tension with these horses traveling to here late, because we came on the charter of the Breeders' Cup. That was the last airplane, so was a lot of pressure, but thanks God worked good.
Yeah, well, the flight might have been late getting here, but those two were definitely not late getting out of the gate in the races this weekend. You've had a couple hours now to sleep in. I don't know if you slept last night or not, but you had a couple hours for it to sink in. Has it hit you yet? Your first two Breeders' Cup winners coming within 30 minutes of each other. Has that sunk in yet?
Yes, I spent all the night watching the videos, and thanks God they wins. Every time they saw the replay, they wins.
And they'll win forever.
Yeah, I saw them. Actually, they won faster on the video, but they don't lose.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was so tired at the night, so just watching the replay. Feel blessed. I'm happy about it.
Well, let's start delving into these races a little bit. Let's start with Shisospicy, since she was the first one out there. She was so fast going down the backstretch, and I know when I talked to you a few weeks ago, you were expecting that speed to put her in that forward position. Were you even impressed with how fast she went and the fact she was able to keep going?
I'm being honest. Knowing I'm sure that she's gonna do that. Like when I decided to work at her 3 furlongs last week, Keeneland, like so many people call me and questioned me, like why I work at 3 furlongs, this filly to run, probably the tougher race of her life against older horses, against colts. I just tell them and the owners, well, she's fast, and we need her speed for this race. We don't need nothing else. I trained her different for the last 3 races, because she ran the Mansell 5.5, where people was questioning about the extra half for her.
Yeah.
Later to Ascot, where was 6 furlongs, and later to Kentucky Downs, where was 6.5 furlongs plus the hill, the up and downs. So it's more than 6.5. So I trained a little different to put probably this extra air on her. But for this race, we need her speed and breaks out to the gate. So on Sunday, when we went to the gate for last time at Keeneland, I was sure that she's gonna do that, because she arrived. I have the video, I can show it to you. She arrived to the gate on her toes, like acting, and as soon as she got into the gate, calm, like turn off, just waiting till the doors open. explode. That happened. So when I saw that on Sunday, say we are on business.
She's obviously a 3-year-old filly. This was a tough task for her. She's experienced a lot of different things this year, as you mentioned. There was the trip overseas to Ascot. There was the course at Kentucky Downs. That's a lot different. And then facing older horses here. I know you've had confidence that she could end up here in the Breeders' Cup since early in the year. At what point did you feel that confident? Earlier in the spring, and what was it at that point that made you think, all right, she can do anything that we ask her?
Well, Sean, you are part of that because you have followed both horses.
Yes,
since
I
early.
spent a lot of time around
Yes.
your barn in the last
Yes,
couple
and
months.
you watch almost all the workouts before Bentornato preparation to Churchill and before
Yeah.
her races to Kentucky Downs, and I was very confident on her that we're gonna make into the Breeders' Cup. So she's special. She's the kind of horse that improve every week, and more than improve, like she knows what's going on, like the things that she did on the gate. At the start she was named Spicy because she was nervous. She injured one rider at the barn early after OBS. She flipped at OBS too, but the way that she learned and improved is a special horse.
Now, she obviously has shown her talent now. First 3-year-old filly to win the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Does that just set her apart from just the kind of horse that she is from any horse in the past? What does that record mean to you personally that you were able to accomplish that?
Oh, I feel so happy about it. But more than everything, that the record, everybody wants to win. But if any horse deserves ran Breeders' Cup yesterday, was her. This filly, she ran almost all her career in different tracks. She just ran at Gulfstream 2 times. She traveled all the world. She, no matter what win or lose, she deserved it. Prove her talent, and she did it. So, if whatever happens at the sale tomorrow, if she's sold or not sold, whatever, I just feel blessed to put her on my way, meet her and enjoy it. All her talent, that's special to me.
Yeah, she's entered in the Fasig-Tipton sale tomorrow when we're recording this, or tonight when this video goes up live here on our BloodHorse channels. Regardless of whether she ends up coming back to you or not, just when you look at her future, how much do you think she could still improve going into her 4-year-old year?
I'm sure, after she can keep improve. When she rests a little bit, she's gonna grow more and do better. I'm sure of that. She's special. The sky is the limit for her.
Now we'll move on to Bentornato. 30 minutes later, hopefully he'll stick his head back out at some point here and join us for his conversation.
Hey, big boy, come on. See, that's for you.
We're getting the star of the show out here right now. By the way, Shisospicy's already left. She's already on the plane, which is why you don't see her. Here he is.
Say hello.
Here he is getting a carrot from Jose. Any thoughts, Bentornato, on winning the sprint?
He don't speak English.
He doesn't speak English?
No. He don't speak English. Jerry.
But
Yes.
he was so impressive as well yesterday. And when you look at last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint, he went into that race 28-1. He ran such a strong second as a 3-year-old. He comes back into the Breeders' Cup Sprint this year off of just one race since then, but he's the favorite. Does that just tell you how well respected or how strong that he got over the course of that year, that the betting public was that confident in him?
Last year I was very confident in him too.
Yeah.
And he was big long shot. So the funny part, when he won the Gallant Bob, I told his owners, I wanted to go to Breeders' Cup and run Bentornato there. They say yes to everything, but 1 week before, 10 days before left Florida to here, they called me and say, hey, Jose, making a question, questioned me, my decision, are you sure that we are going to into the Breeders' Cup, because we don't want to go just for vacation. I say, what?
Yeah.
I deserve some respect. Like
Yeah.
the horse was doing great all the year. So yes, we are going there and we are going to win, and we lose by nothing. Against Straight No Chaser, that dam, make a magnificent work with this horse, winning Breeders' Cup last year,
Yeah.
winning this year on Saudi. So my respect for them and all the team of my racehorse. This year was different because I wanted to prep him for this race. I wanted, give we gave enough time to him to rest and grow. He improved, he maturity, mentally different. Like he can sit now, run second, third, make his move like he did at Churchill. I have to say thank you to my owners to trust me all the decisions on him, because when we scratched him at the Malibu, we gave some time off, but when he started training again, he got spleen, and we have to give more time to him. And I say, hey guys, our ultimate goal is Breeders' Cup. We're gonna make it, so let me work. Okay, but what race before? I'm gonna tell you later. He gonna tell us what race before. So we went to Saratoga to prep him for Churchill. They was nervous because they wanted to get into the Breeders' Cup. When we're racing Saratoga, no, the perfect time to run. Later recovery and prep again is the Louisville Society. So we are going there. We won there from Saratoga, later Keeneland, and finally we made it.
I was at Saratoga throughout the summer. I joined you the one morning when he breezed out on the Saratoga racetrack. So this is toward the end of August, about a month before the Louisville Thoroughbred Society. You told me at that point, this horse can't lose that race at Churchill. And you told me at that point, he's going to win the Breeders' Cup. Just how were you that confident that he was just that good, that he was going to be able to handle everything?
I know my horses very well. And also I spent all the summer with them. So at some point, if they are happy, if they are angry, if they want carrots, whatever. So, the way that I was looking into them training him and Chiso, I know they're going to be tough. And, this year for him better because 4-year-old improved. So that's why I was very confident on him.
One of the things that's impressed me with you throughout this year is you seem to really have the horses ready when they're coming back from a layoff. Bentornato, obviously coming back from his 10 months in the Louisville Thoroughbred Society. Shisospicy, when she was ready to run in the Music City off of that trip to Royal Ascot when she had a couple months. Even Howard Wolowitz, he came back from a couple months off after his trip to Saudi, and he probably would have won that turf sprint at Kentucky Downs if he had made it through on the inside. How do you get these horses prepared to run their best off the layoff, and then obviously with these two, keep improving them for the next race?
We went to Saratoga with the mission that prep these 3 horses from the layoff to these races at Keeneland, at Churchill, and Kentucky Downs. Shisospicy won the musical seat, like you say, Howard Wolowitz, and Bentornato. Just Howard lose by nothing.
Yeah.
Like the announcer says, like unlucky Howard Wolowitz today because he was the best horse of the race to me.
Yeah.
I try to simulate like all the things that can happen in a race to them. That's why Bentornato worked at 45 from the gate, because I know that he have to do that on the race. And Chiso worked at 5 furlongs with strong gallop out on the training track at Oklahoma in Saratoga. But the thing is, like, later, if you see the preparation of Bentornato to this Breeders' Cup against his preparation to the Louisville Society was so different, just easy workouts, keeping them happy, because I know what he needs to come from the layoff. We need to push him probably to his limits, because that's going to happen on the race. They're going to push him to his limits. And later, that he have the condition, just keep them happy, training the way they need. I worked almost all his workout before and after, before the Louisville Society and after to the Breeders' Cup. And I think my guys, Jose, Neftali, Angel, and Ira, we make a perfect team with the 3 horses, Howard, Chiso, and Bentornato.
Now, when I talked to you yesterday after the Turf Sprint, you mentioned to me when you grew up in Venezuela, this was the Breeders' Cup, the Kentucky Derby. Those are the races that you grew up wanting to be a part of, that you dreamed to be a part of. You made the move to the United States here in 2019. First of all, just tell us a little bit about your success in your home country before you came here, and then what led to the decision to finally move yourself here.
Thanks God I was very successful in Venezuela. Was champion over there. We won the Simon Bolivar there. I have to be grateful because I learned a lot there. With horses, you keep learning every day. I try to learn every single day, especially here. Like people have more experience than you. They open, the doors to let you learn from them. So I think I have an amazing life, amazing journey with horses. But Breeders' Cup Derby was the races that we meet there just to watch the races, and I just wanted to come here and watch the races. Now we are here, running them, being winning the races. To me, is amazing. Like my cell phone yesterday, shut down, off. It got off by all the message and calls. My friends say, hey, they realize what you did, like the race that we saw together, we was planning to go and just watch the races. You are there, so thank you to the life and God and my owners, my team, everybody, my family that support me, because it's not easy stay away from home almost all the year round with them.
What was it when you were younger? What was it about horses that drew you in? What made you want to be a trainer?
My father was trainer in Venezuela, champion there.
Okay.
A good one. He was champion 3 times over there. He won a lot of the big races over there. And, I grow at the barn. But the thing with me, everybody likes the sports. Soccer, baseball there, music, whatever. I just like horses. My only interest was horses. One day at the school, my first day at school, at the kinder, they called my parents because the first day I put all the chairs, small chairs, in a line, and I put all the kids and say, and they're off. And they called them worried, hey, somebody have gambler problem at the house. No, his father is trainer. And the other day was at the high school. The teacher got me. I have the book. I have the DRF inside, so they got me. And are you gonna be? No, my father is trained, so that's why I like the horses. Yeah. So only interest in horse racing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I know you just mentioned there about how you don't care about anything other than the horses. I made the mistake. We were watching a race together at Kentucky Downs a couple of weeks ago. I made the mistake of asking you if you had a favorite baseball team or something like that. You're like, I don't watch anything other than the horses. And then you're wearing a Dodgers hat the other morning when I was back here. Me, a Yankees fan, I had to give you a little flack for that.
I have a Yankee hat too.
I know. You need to wear that next time I see you.
But the funny, my brother went to the game. They went so excited to
one of the World Series games?
The World Series game. I said, no, I have to stay with the horses. So I stay by myself here. And they bring me a hat. So next day I put my hat because I think it's pretty.
Yeah.
So when I was arriving to Breeders' Cup, the guy at the door was a Yankee fan. Saying, why are you coming here with a Dodgers hat? No problem. No Dodgers now. Let me get in. Okay. Yankee, yes, Yankee.
There you go. Yeah. We'll make sure when we're back at Saratoga next year, we'll make sure we're wearing a Yankees hat more consistently.
I will.
I'll make
I
sure
promise.
of that. Now, you mentioned earlier the team that you have surrounding you. I've gotten to see you quite a bit at just being in Kentucky, being in Saratoga the last couple of months. The one thing that's always impressed me with your team, it's always smiles. Everybody's always looking like they're having a good time. Everybody's always laughing. You guys seem like you're just a really close-knit family, essentially, rather than just guys working together. How does that help lead to success?
We are a family. We spend so much time more than friends,
Yeah.
We win or we lose together. It's not. I don't win. We win. We won. If then no exist, no possible. If and no more than exist, they are not here for a check. They are here because we love the same. We are on the same race. We are the same person. So they feel the horses like I feel. So that's the key, because people don't know, to make a horse you need 6 months, 8 months to make good a horse. Like if they aren't with you, the grooms, the whole worker, no chance, because horse feel and they spend more time with the horses than you. So I think that's I have a dream team, and we are proving that. Like we won a lot of big races this year, all together traveling with a small barn, because we go just with 7-10 horses to Keeneland, Churchill, and Saratoga.
Yeah. Well, let's get them in. Hey, guys, come in here.
Venga,
Come get on in here. They're all standing over there watching. Come on in here. Come join the team
on,
here. Come
Vente.
on. I won't make you talk much. Just stand here.
He's the boss.
There we go.
Yes, he's the special
Awesome.
brain.
Come here.
There we go.
Come here.
So we got obviously the team right here. Just what does it mean to all you guys getting these both of these wins yesterday?
Awesome. No, we feel really awesome. We are so happy with the work what we do, and we are so excited because it's the first time we win a race like that. So I don't know what can I say. So happy.
What is it that makes this job fun every day?
Really, that's my life. I grow with the horses. I grow with the horses, and I don't feel this is like my job. I just feel this is like my house. My house, and I'm with my family because we got a good team. We don't feel like this is a job. We just feel like like family.
All right, well, one final question here, Jose. Bentornato, what can we expect next for him?
We are prepping him for the Saudi and Dubai. I don't know that the guys have a travel planned. They told me that they are going to vacations to immediately say, go guys. Like they're gonna spend like I don't know how many months, but yes, they're excited, I think.
Yeah. Ready for the Middle East?
Yeah, no, we're ready. We're ready for the race, and we're so excited to go over there and visit, and let's see if we can bring the winner to United States.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to all of you on the success that you had this weekend. It was a thrill watching both of them run so well this weekend. And hopefully we'll get to see you guys back here with both horses in the future or with some other horses.
More horses.
More
for
horses
sure.
as well.
Yes.
Now that you've won 2 on the same weekend, you got to win all 14 on the same
Yes,
weekend.
let's do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jose. Thank you to the team, and congratulations, everybody.
One word.
Say hi.
Say hi to everyone.
Say hi to Florida
Here,
people.
everybody get in here and just smile for the camera
Yes.
before we go off.
Great stuff there. Great job, Sean.
Thank
But those are the moments, right? Those are the moments. These are guys that get up every day way before the regular person is getting out of bed, many times leaving the track after everyone else has already left. So I learned a lot. Bentornato needs Duolingo. I had no idea.
Yes,
we have
he does not speak
We have a
English as we
unilingual
learned.
horse there, but whatever's working, I wouldn't change it. Actually, don't teach him English if he's going to run that fast, for sure. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that he's a second-generation trainer, and we're seeing. Can we not add him to that group? He didn't grow up with these guys, but Miguel Clement, Will Walden, thinking of Riley Mott, right? Those guys who were in that group that had Breeders' Cup starters this year. Jose talking about his dad that way, and by the way, was one of the absolute GOAT trainers in like greatest of all time, GOAT, sorry. One of the very, very good trainers in Venezuela as well. Have you ever seen a photo of La Rinconada?
I've not. I don't think so. No.
Hi, I apologize. Every Venezuelan person just lost about a year of their life for you not having seen a photo of this. It's incredible.
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up right now during the show. I don't even mind. It is that beautiful, and you can hear it in their voices, the passion of Venezuelan horse racing. And I wanted to bring that up because if people watched our Blood Horse at the Breeders' Cup series,
Oh wow.
look at the mountains around it. That first picture on the top left, that's the setting. Look at that.
Wow, look at that.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
If you're
okay?
listening to this, go look it up here.
La
La
Rinconada.
Rinconada. RINCONADA.
It is on my
All right, we are going there.
Okay, I was gonna say I have like 3 tracks. I'm not even exaggerating. I have like 3 tracks I want to go to. That's top of the list. I'm not exaggerating, and I would love to get down there. It's because of how those guys talk, and I'm not.
I'm about to text Jose right now and ask him if
So
it,
here's the thing.
ask him about going down there.
Here's the thing about this. I don't know if anyone else thinks about the sport like this, but I think about this a lot. Is where is the next generation of horsemen coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And we're in
Where's
a wave of it right now.
boom. And where are these people going to come from? Now, they're going to come from horseman families, right? Like that's going to be a thing. When your last name's Mott, when your last name is Clement, when your last name is Walden, you're going to grow up like that. And when your last name is D'Angelo, you're going to grow up like that. But we had Carlos on the shows earlier this week. He's a Venezuelan expat. there is so much good horsemanship coming over, both on the training side, the riding side, so many good Venezuelan jockeys as well. And then we're getting in media, even guys who are covering these men as well, and women, of course. But, just a wonderful infusion in North America in the way that we talk about the Japanese contributing to the dirt program worldwide, and those Arabian Peninsula races, whether in Dubai or in Riyadh, contributing to dirt racing around the world. The Venezuelan influence on American racing I'm fascinated to see it the next 20, 25 years, because those guys making their way through Gulfstream, making their way through Florida, you see Bentornato, Florida bred, all these kinds of things. I legitimately think that there's a wave of that coming, and I welcome it. Open arms for sure. Can you imagine? Okay, the other part is this. Those guys, you mentioned it, are so happy and all the time. You ever been around a dog that kind of has a mean owner? And they're just kind of grumpy dogs?
Yeah.
No wonder their horses are happy. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That stuff rubs off. It matters, man. When a barn is tense, you can feel it. And look, before a derby or something like that, it's going to be tense. I get it. That was Breeders' Cup, bro.
No.
And you were there the day before.
I was there almost every day.
And
they were all.
That was their attitude all the time.
Yes.
And the guy talks about horses as family. They talk about that kind of. What Jose has set up is different, and he's to be applauded for it. And I'm very, very. I'm very. That was a great interview. I got to mention Louie, which I feel great about. But just that being second generation guy and bringing that Venezuelan influence to the game, I love all of it. All the best to Jose. I hope everything goes well, and I hope both of those horses run really well. And if Shisospicy does sell tonight, I hope that those owners keep her with him. Excuse me, because the way he talked about it was almost a sales pitch. He wasn't even trying it.
Yeah,
he wasn't trying to sell it. He's like, "Here's how I trained in the last 3 races, and here's why I tried this. That's why the 3 furlong work made sense for me. All that mattered in this race at 5 furlongs was speed. 6.5 at Kentucky Downs, different ask, different training schedule, and that kind of movability, that ability for a guy to know his horse that well, that is unbelievably underrated. And Jose is absolutely inserted himself amongst the trainers you have to watch. He's going to go over 10 million in earnings this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. And so no, just great interview. I learned a lot, but yeah, Louie Canada, me, we gotta go.
Yeah, we're going down there. I'm gonna talk to Jose, see if he can hook us up with some connections down there. But
I asked Ramon Dominguez once about Louie Canada. It's probably the smartest thing I've ever done. He just there's a great example, by the way.
Yeah,
there's Ramon Dominguez. I mean, the list is so long, and I hope it keeps going.
I feel like we always underestimate just how much Central and South Americans love their horse racing. I mean, you see it all the time. I obviously with the stuff that I do on YouTube, I get comments from down there all the time from people that are watching. We know Carlos Morales from Agent History 05, who was on our show with us.
Followers from South America.
Yeah,
hundreds,
and
yes,
he was on BloodHorse at the Breeders' Cup with us for the pre-Friday episode. He's got a large following. I mean, just look at his numbers. That's mostly he does everything in Spanish, and that's mostly Central and South America.
And he does great work, by the way. I don't mind pubbing him on this program at all. He's great.
He's fantastic. And so he's got such a large following because they really love their horse racing down there, and they want to be able to learn about what's going on up here. You see horses like I know Touch of Destiny didn't end up running too well in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, but they follow along when these horses come up here to the United States. And there was a lot of expectations around him. There was a lot of people that were kind of watching for him. Jose mentioned there how his phone was blowing up of people from back home texting him and congratulating him after the race. And so it's really, you go back all the way back to Cannoniero II when he won the Derby, and the Preakness was going for the Triple Crown. A lot of times 71. So a lot of times that gets overshadowed by the fact that Secretariat was right behind him. But he was the Caracas Cannonball. He was the one of the most popular horses ever because he just had the entire Hispanic population rallying behind him.
They still talk about him.
Yeah, they love their racing. And you mentioned kind of this next generation that's coming in. He's definitely a part of that. He's a young guy. I believe he's in his probably mid-30s right now, I think. And we're starting to see. You mentioned some of the other names, Walden, Mott, and Clement. Yeah. Obviously, we lost Dwayne Lucas this year, and some of our other guys that have been around for a while. We know we have several more years of them training, but we are starting to see kind of these younger guys
and that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, absolutely.
But we're starting to see some of these younger guys stepping up, and we're starting to see them participate. These are going to be the guys that we're watching for the next 30, 40, 50 years, and so we're getting to see kind of their kind of their beginning stages moving forward. But the point I did really want to hit home on is just how much fun that team has. I've seen them a lot in the last couple of months just from the treks that I've been to, and every single time, I wasn't lying when I said this here, every single time it's just nonstop smiles, nonstop joking around. You hear constant laughter, and we even got a perfect example of that. I'm going to embarrass them by showing this here.
This is the best stuff.
Right before we did that interview, Jose Rivera, who was talking there in that interview, he's the exercise rider of Bentornato. He got a hold of the microphones while I was trying to adjust the camera. I had him hold the microphones, and let's just see just how much fun they were having the morning after the Breeders' Cup wins.
How you feel about the feeling? Say something. Say something, please, about Shisospicy. How she do in the track in the morning?
Very good.
Good.
Yeah. Gallo, feeling good.
Say hi to the people in Miami. And say hi. Come on, man. Daniel. How you feel yesterday?
We're here with the Bentornato Gallup guy. What do you think of the race?
The race was awesome. We are so excited.
You feeling good?
I feel awesome. I feel like unbelievable is real or no.
What are you gonna do to celebrate?
I can't say this for in the camera.
Oh, okay.
We just kidding. Let's see.
Well, that's what it's all about, really. It really is. That's spectacular stuff.
And
Go ahead.
Neftali there, who he was trying to interview at the
Had the two
beginning.
had both fights.
Yeah, he had both fights. He was trying to interview him at the beginning. That's the exercise rider for Shisospicy. We're training him on the media side of things. I told him in 10 years from now I'm gonna have him singing on the microphone. So we're getting him there.
I was there for the first couple of episodes of BloodHorse Monday. We're getting better at this too. So all of us need media training for sure. But no, just a great story. Good job on that. I really do appreciate them. And by the way, that's the kind of availability we get from D'Angelo all the time.
Yeah.
He is available to do that. He will talk.
He's probably one of the best at making sure he gives time to the media that I've
He's up
been
there for
around
sure.
in the last in the 2 years that I've been doing this now for BloodHorse. At any time you ask him for any kind of request, he's always there for it. I know.
But I want to say something. He's on a growing list of people that have been willing to do this or interviews or whatever. And so I'm appreciative generally. I think there's an upward trend of trainers being willing to be out there and talking about their operations, because the stories I hear from guys who did this before I did was that it was very difficult to get in on those stories. I feel like some of those relationships have been made better, or maybe we just need to brag and we're doing a good job. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I think part of it too is now the power of social media.
Yeah.
You know how beneficial that could be for business, but also just in general. Jose's a nice guy.
Yep.
I know right after our interview was over, Barbara Livingston from DRF had wanted to come over to get a picture, and as soon as our interview was over, he made sure he was asking around trying to make sure he had her phone number so he could call her and tell her that he was ready. So he wanted to make sure that he didn't miss out on that opportunity for her. So he's always trying to accommodate all of us.
I know she's not a blood horse, but Barbara gets a plushie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Barbara. All right.
Speaking of plushies, how about Forever Young in the Breeders' Cup Classic? Because as we learned from Kate Hunter a couple weeks ago, now that he's got his second official Grade 1 win,
Finally do it.
Forever Young will finally be getting a plushie out there in Japan. If you missed that conversation a few weeks ago, go back and watch it with Kate Hunter here on the podcast. But Forever Young, the biggest story from this weekend, of course, is the fact that he finally has earned himself a plushie.
I want to say this a couple of different ways, but number one, give us a plushie because we'll put it on set. Number two, we will rearrange this whole thing to get the plushie on.
We'll just sit it on our shoulders.
That's not a bad idea. I could use some hair. The Kate Hunter tweeted out after the race, thanking Forever Young for the greatest day of her life.
Mm-hmm. And she was so emotional afterwards.
But she means it. And I want people to understand, like we just saw with the D'Angelo clan there, right? All those guys running around and all those things. Kate Hunter, for Japanese racing, for these moments, this is it, man. She's been everywhere in the world, every continent except for Antarctica with his horse, essentially, done everything with him. And to get to do this on this stage is the absolute confirmation that the Japanese are here to stay in this division.
Mhm.
They are here to stay in dirt racing worldwide, and they are to be reckoned with. And as there is an expansion of the Derby Trail in the Arabian Peninsula, we're going to see more and more Japanese runners there running for those purses, running for those spots in the Kentucky Derby. Get ready for 3-4 Japanese starters in the Derby. Get ready for it, because there's a Japan road and there's a Middle East road. I think they could dominate both.
And then once they get some of those official medical stuff out of the way, and they can start
Be so
traveling
much
over
easier
here
travel.
more easier,
Yep.
they're going to do what Mandarin Hero did.
I
a few
think
years
Forever
ago and
Young,
attack those
you make a
San
great
Benito
point.
races.
Forever Young could expedite that process.
Yes.
They could see him come over here and go, oh my goodness, we need to get that.
This could be a turning point for Japanese racing, especially when it comes to racing here in the United States. So
As far as international stuff,
I recommend if you were not with us back at Derby time watching this podcast, please go back to when we had Kate on ahead of the Kentucky Derby and here's some of her comments on some of the regulatory stuff they have to go through to get the horses here, and how once those regulatory things get solved, it'll just open the door for a lot more Japanese participation throughout the year in some of our biggest races.
Right.
This is definitely going to help. Seeing him, the Japanese government and everybody being able to see him come over here and have this success on this stage against these horses. This was billed as one of the greatest Breeders' Cup Classics of all time. I know we lost Sovereignty. We shared our thoughts on that in the Blood Horse at the Breeders' Cup shows.
Yep.
But this was still one of the greatest Breeders' Cup Classics of all time. And
no doubt about it.
And he went out there and he earned it. And he has been a top-notch horse. He's the only horse really in this dirt division that has had the stress of all that travel.
Yeah, that's right.
That he has done, and he still shows up every time and runs his best. And so for him to break through and win this race, I know you saw it, I saw it, the amount of Japanese fans that were in the grandstand moved to tears, celebrating.
3,000 Japanese fans there.
Yeah, I was standing. I was like, well, to my left, I had John Shiref, Spaez's trainer. He was not celebrating, but
4-year-old.
To my right,
he's going to be special,
and he had a bad start, so
that's a sure special. That horse,
you cannot really count that race against Baeza. But to my right, I had 2 Japanese women that were standing there cheering, and I don't think it was Forever Young, but they had a massive plushie with the Yahagi. They did. The Yahagi gear on him, but I know this is a plushie advertisement show now. If you're making horse racing plushies and you want to advertise them, this is the show to do it on. Come sponsor us. But yeah, I mean they were in tears when I went down to go down to the racetrack afterwards, and you saw the guy that was wearing the Forever Young silks with the Japanese flag, and he's waving it around. They invite him into the winner's circle, and yeah, it was jubilation at Del Mar for them, and we talked to Kate a couple weeks ago. We knew the rest of the Japanese horses that were coming in were potentially a little subpar. They were maybe your grade 3 type horses over there taking a shot coming in here. But for all those fans that came over from Japan, I know it was worth it to them for that moment with Forever Young. He's become a superstar over there. They don't get to see him much over there in Japan. And the next time they do get to see him,
that's funny.
The next time they do get to see him, I imagine that's going to be a hero's welcome.
Yeah, it'll be a parade of some sort. I got to talk to Brooke Smith right after the race, and Sean, I want to have 2 conversations here. Sierra Leone finishes second after winning the race last year.
Mm-hmm.
Fiercest finishes third this year after finishing second last year.
Let's just admire the fact that we had the same trifecta, different order, but same trifecta in both back-to-back classics.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, these 3 horses, Forever Young, Sierra Leone, Fierceness, we have not had really a multi-year rivalry. You think Sierra Leone and Fierceness, both of them were considered to be in the top 5 2-year-olds of their 2-year-old season. Both of them were considered to be the top 2 3-year-olds in that division. And then they come back this year, obviously not the top 3 older horses as well. They have been consistent. Forever Young has been consistent. We've gotten to see them face each other multiple times. We've gotten to see them beat each other multiple times too, to where it's been fun. It's kept you guessing what was going to happen each time they lined up against each other. All 3 of them, let's just take a moment and just celebrate and admire the careers. Thank you to Forever Young's connections. Thank you to Brooke Smith, to the Coolmore team. Thank you to Mike Rapoli for keeping these horses in training this year. hopefully, if we can maybe get Sovereignty and Journalism to come back next year, I'm pretty sure we're getting Baeza back. If we can get them to come back next year as 4-year-olds, do the exact same thing next year, hopefully maybe this can be the start of the trend where people start to see there's still value in running them as 4-year-olds, because we got to learn that Sierra Leone and Fierceness were legit. They did get to prove that they are durable as well. They lasted 3 seasons on top of this division
at the highest level.
At the highest level.
Yes.
And they're durable. Hopefully that will turn into more breeders being interested in going to them getting good mares. I pray that both of these horses have fantastic children, because if they do, if Journalism and Sovereignty can come back this year or next year, do the same thing, go off and be successful, maybe we can finally start seeing a change in this whole let's just retire them at the end of their 3-year-old season. I think this showed just how much added value you can get by bringing them back as 4-year-olds this year.
One of the men that brought their horses back was Brooke Smith. And I full disclosure on this, I know Brooke personally. We're not friends. I want to be clear. Like, he's never met my wife or something like that, but we are friendly for sure. Okay. This is me making a very split second decision. I stood in front of him in the peasant section on the first floor, in front of the owners area there, at Breeders' Cup during the Classic. And I'll be honest, like, I was like, yeah, Brooke, let's go before the race, that kind of stuff. He's like, it's game time, whatever. Then the race happens, and he's congratulating the Japanese connections right after. Okay, they were right next to one another. That's one of the things about these races. Connections are all just kind of huddled in one spot. And I had to make a snap decision. Do I go to the man whose horse just ran his last race and didn't win and ask him for a walk and talk or not? And I decided to. And I just looked at Brooke and I said, walk and talk? And he said, absolutely. And here's what it was. And I apologize for the opening of this video. It's pretty funny. With Sierra Leone owner, Red Feather Racing, or Rocket Racing. Sorry, oh my goodness. Rocket Racing, of course.
Brooke Smith, baby.
With Brooke Smith, right after the Classic here at Del Mar. Boy, your boy shows up every time, doesn't he?
He ran a hell of a race.
Oh.
That's by far the best race of the year. The numbers are going to be enormous. He did everything he could. The fractions were just a hair off, but I am so proud of him. He went out in class, in style. Quite honestly, if there was a horse that was going to win, it wasn't him. I'm glad that after all the effort and work, and such an amazing horse is Forever Young, he won. And Sierra Leone will have a new career ahead.
Ready to go for that. Just tell us the level of pride you got right now. Just seeing it the last time, he puts in that honest effort he always does.
There'll be a moment later when I'm by myself, and the tears are going to well up in my eyes because of what he's meant to me, my family, my friends. How amazing of a horse! He's a horse of a lifetime.
Thank you, Brooke.
Yeah,
congratulations. It's very rare in this field that we get to say congratulations to someone when their horse doesn't win.
Yeah,
I don't want to say loses, because that's not what he did. He didn't lose. 2 minutes flat over 10 furlongs is always impressive. I don't care what the track conditions are or where the winds are or whatever else. And that's what Forever Young did. And Sierra Leone was right there. We had 4 horses finish another 201. Okay. But let's stick with Sierra Leone for a minute. If you want to understand the mentality that you should strive for as an owner, that's probably it, right? Where you got to accept that, maybe first, second, third, maybe not even those on certain days. But Brooke Smith's, knowing what was next, obviously had prepared himself for that to be that moment. I just wanted to give a lot of kudos. He put his arm right around me. And we walked right up to the door of the owner's enclosure. Obviously, I'm not going to just run in there, but we stopped there. That's where that interview ended. We parted ways. We haven't spoken since. I haven't bothered him at all, but just that attitude, I just really appreciated that moment. So I wanted to share that here on the show as well.
He's
just
a class act.
Brooke is for sure, and his work with the Backside Learning Center, for example, and all those kinds of things. I see a spirit of horse racing award in his future. He feels like that kind of guy in our industry. Your reaction to just recapping Sierra Leone's career? What an interesting horse.
Yeah, it's I wonder how he's going to be looked back on in 15, 20 years, because he didn't always win, but he never finished off the board. He always came with the run. He did, even if the pace was slow, if the pace was fast, maybe it impacted how close he was to winning, but he always ran. He always came with the run. And you look at this year that he only had 1 win this year in the Whitney, but he still
had a great year.
He still had a great year. And you could still argue that he's in the running to win the Eclipse Award for the champion older male because of how well that he's ran. And so, he was such a good horse. And I feel like a lot of times, especially when you're looking on social media, a lot of times we like to just, if they don't win, we like to just trash on them. A lot of the times, a lot of people will do that. And, but I mean, you got to go back. I think this, like, between him, Fierceness, Forever Young, I think back to like some of these old classic rivalries and the 30s or the 40s of these horses that would face each other like almost every single race. The outcome was always different. Sometimes one of them would win by 5 lengths, and the next one would win by a head. And then the next race, the one horse won and the other horse was 6th up the track. But they always ran against each other. When they were on their best, they could, always give each other all they had and just keep switching those results. And it made it fun. And that's what Sierra Leone did. That's what Fierceness did. Cause I don't want to lose him in the shuffle of this.
You're
either.
totally right. Ran another great race.
Yeah.
He just did.
I just feel
sub 201, folks. I mean, this is fast.
I just feel so blessed that we were able to have the careers of Sierra Leone and Fierceness that we did. And obviously Forever Young's career is going to keep on going here. But, yeah, it's just, I hope we look back at this time, and Fierceness and Sierra Leone definitely throughout their careers had received a lot of different takes from people as far as their success and their greatness because of different things, whether it was Sierra Leone just not being able to get the job done, whether it was Fierceness throwing in his random clunkers. But when they showed up, they were among the best horses in this country.
And we got
in this century.
Numerous races where they both showed up.
Yes. And I mean, Sierra Leone showed up all the time. Fierceness did have his occasional clunker, but man, he's on his game. He's
track record
barely anyone better.
Yeah, he's track record.
Yeah. And so, these two I think should be ranked highly when you're looking at the top horses of the century so far. Even though they didn't win every time, I just think their consistency over 3 years of racing is just phenomenal.
Both Breeders' Cup winners, and so hopefully both Hall of Famers by
both
the time
champions
that we get there. The 4th horse to finish in under 201. Journalism,
my boy.
How about that? No, but let's put this in perspective here. He's right there, man.
Yeah.
And we've had Aaron Wellman a couple times on the show from Eclipse, of course. I have one of my favorite stories of this year is journalism, because he is, my goodness, he's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up every time, and I trust them to do what's right by journalism here. I really do. And I think that if he's healthy and they want to have a 4-year-old campaign, I think they would be wise to do that.
Yes.
Right now, if he needs to not race anymore for whatever reason that I don't know about, I'm not going to fight them on that. And I would trust Aaron Wellman on that. I really would.
Yes.
But if he's ready and he's healthy, I would hope that they would put him back in for a regimen next year, because frankly, why can't that horse win the Classic next year?
Exactly.
He's
so much fun to watch, and he gave it his all in this race. And we talked a lot about the 3-year-olds on this show throughout the year. And, I was one that back after the Jim Dandy was willing to go on the record to say that I thought that Sovereignty and Journalism were by far the best horses in the country over Sierra Leone, Fierceness, and all that. I think we've learned in the last couple of weeks that the 3-year-olds are maybe just I wish we could have seen what Sovereignty could have done in here, but that maybe the 3-year-olds are just a little bit below where Fierceness, Sierra Leone, Forever Young were. Journalism obviously getting beat by Fierceness twice now. Gosger and Bracket Buster getting beaten the Fayette Stakes by the older horses, but they're going to continue to get older. We had Bob Ehalt said on our Saturday show for BloodHorse at the Breeders' Cup, he remembers back to the time where a 3-year-old Affirmed could not beat a 4-year-old Seattle Slew, but then a 3-year-old Spectacular Bid could not beat a 4-year-old Affirmed. And all 3 of those horses are considered to be among the all-time greats. And so maybe it's just that developmental stage. And now that Fierceness and Sierra Leone are going to step away, Journalism, Sovereignty, Paesa, if they come back, they're going to run this division next year for sure. And
by the way, Bob told us that would be the top 3.
Yes.
He was very clear about it on Friday.
Yes. And so it's just that developmental thing maybe, and I think maybe next year we see to where they step beyond where these horses were. I almost kind of expect that because of how good they were in their 3-year-old crop.
It's at least an opportunity, yes.
Yeah, but I do wish we could have seen what Sovereignty would have had in this field. I feel like he would have gotten he would have been ahead of where Sierra Leone was with his running style, and I think he would have been closing earlier and maybe a little stronger. And I personally believe he might have been able to get there and beat the older horses here.
Might have been.
If he
might have been.
We'll never know. So, it's
the grandest what if of what ifs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate of it. But yeah, I just, these older horses this year, we talked about it at the very start of the year, how lucky we were to have them for the 4-year-old season. And boy, did it pay off better than we probably could have imagined.
it was a perfect bookend to what we talked about last year at this time, just praying that these horses would get a chance at a 4-year-old campaign. And they did everything that we could ever dream of for sure. I have one gripe from the weekend, and it is the scratch of White Abarrio in the dirt mile.
Yes.
And I want to express my displeasure with that decision 5 minutes to post. That horse went through everything. The ownership was very transparent about everything. It was cleared by another veterinarian. If you think walking through the paddock did something to that horse before the race, I simply disagree. That is massively disappointing. The lack of trust in horsemen to bring out sound horses. Do you think Saffy's bringing one of his best horses ever to the Breeders' Cup? If he's not in good shape,
And
this stuff bothers me so much, Sean. And I heard like, oh, there's a different vet here and a different vet here. Then they should talk to one another. I have to believe, unlike Bentornato, that they probably speak the same language.
Yes. And I want to throw Mystic Dan scratch in here
Thank
too.
you. Yes.
When you look at these two horses, you have a Breeders' Cup Classic winner in White Abarrio, you have a Kentucky Derby winner in Mystic Dan, and but your point about listening to the horsemen here, think of both of these horses are lined up to have stallion careers in the future.
Course,
They
yes.
have, Mystic Dan winning the Kentucky Derby. It's the greatest race in the world. And you think that the trainers are going to put them out there thinking that there's any kind of risk to them getting injured and, that stuff like that when they have so much on the line in the future already. They're not going to bring them here unless they think that they're sound. And yeah, White Abarrio, I agree with you. We had heard the whispers all week. I actually saw one of the vet inspections where he was getting looked at earlier in the week, and he was constantly getting watched. He passed the morning approval, and then
5 minutes to post.
5 minutes to
Sean.
post. Yeah,
5 minutes to post.
Doesn't sit right with me. How that went. I was one. I didn't think White Abarrio had the best chance in that race personally, but that doesn't matter. He should have been. I wish we could know
He got
more.
bet down to 5-1.
I wish we could know more about it, and I hope that in the future, as more of this, more of this has become kind of a outrage among the fan base in the last couple of years here with the Breeders' Cup. I do hope at some point we get to the point where we are getting more transparency on these decisions, not just in the Breeders' Cup. I don't want to just say this is just a Breeders' Cup problem. Right. But I want to see this across the country where some of especially in these big races, a little bit more about get the public a little bit more knowledge into what exactly happened into some of these scratches. But
frustrating. The 5 minutes to post part, I think, is what just absolutely kills me.
Yeah, I know, and I felt bad for the connections there. I know they were ready.
Shipping the Derby winner if he's not ready to go. Come on, it just bothered. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but aside from that, I know we're getting to the end of the episode here. But aside from that, I want to make sure that we give you the proper praise. The hurdle horse in the Breeders' Cup Turf.
Listen,
you were on top of him.
Listen,
all week. You were constantly saying,
I
need a hat.
I do need a hat.
You were constantly saying that you were confident in him.
I was asking around for hats, so it's real.
He went in. He won.
He didn't win.
Take your moment of glory.
Okay, he didn't win. It's a track record. All right, so let's start with that.
Course record. We're on the turf.
Sorry, a course record. Where you at, Rebels Romance? Where you at, Minnie Hawk? Bums. No, that's not it. Look, Sean, this was an unusual handicapping angle for me. I've never had one like this, and it's probably a top 3 call in my career. If people don't know, I came over to this program previously. Largely my shows are handicapping, and so one of the things I absolutely adore about this program is I get to talk to breeders, I get to talk to consigners, I get to talk to people that are outside of that handicapping realm, that are in the other parts of our industry. We talk about the stud careers for horses like White Abarrio and for Mystic Dan moving forward. I'm more interested in those things now than I was before, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
And but I can't. This is a top 3 pick all time in my life, alongside King Guillermo, almost certainly in the Tampa Bay Derby.
That's a good one.
But that's a really, really good one, right? And it just felt right in that moment. This one, though, if people want, I've been asked. I got asked at TSA why I was on Ethical Diamond. Okay, by the way, they almost confiscated all of this equipment. We almost didn't do the show today. The woman was not in the mood. And all I said was, buddy, last 2 races, good to firm. Last 2 races, they booked Bill Buick. They booked, what are you? What? And then look, I do think there's stamina and muscles and things that go into that are different than are involved. And I want to be very clear. I picked him 3rd, but I bet him and I got the money. So there you go. That one made sense to me. It's a very outside the box sort of look for me that way. But those last 2 races convinced me, give me the right connections, give me that horse. And when he ducked in right at first and they saved ground right away, I was good. I knew he was going to make his run. I didn't know if he was going to win, but I knew he was going to make his run. And I gave you Rebels Romance. I gave you Ethical Diamond right here on this platform, wherever you're watching. And so, yeah, feels good. I need a hat though, please.
Yes.
All the hurdlers following me on Twitter now. I need a hat
He
for
needs
sure.
a hat.
I've never asked for a Breeders' Cup hat before. That one feels really
Just
good.
look at this head. We need to cover it up with a hat right there. Ethical Diamond. Or maybe we just write it on your forehead. Maybe that would
Paint
work
my
too.
head purple.
I think maybe we should do that. Any
Oh,
other Saturday winners that stood out to you this weekend? I want to make sure we give a shout out to not
Scylla
just
putting it all together like she
Yes.
did was awesome.
Yes.
It was awesome because she shows up every race. She's like, you know who she's like? She's like Sierra Leone. She
Yeah.
shows up every race. Doesn't matter the distance. Now Sierra Leone needs the longer distance.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter the distance for her. A reminder that in those spots, when Junior Alvarado's at his best, and I want everyone to hear the compliment that I'm giving, it's not a slight at all. When he's on a great horse, Sovereignty, whatever, he is as good at getting out of the way
Mhm.
and letting the horse do what they do. That's what he did with Scylla. Hey, we need to get in a position. And then she was there and he let her go. He let her do the work. I thought as a career capper for her, totally appropriate because she's been in very difficult company over and over and over again. It is a reminder that class matters in horse racing.
Mhm.
And she is classy. And it was a spectacular send-off if she is done racing. I think she is. And I thought that performance was very satisfying. I'll put it that way.
Yes, I agree. And I also want to give a shout out to Nisos and Citizen Bowl for the dirt mile there.
Stretch run, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Citizen
why we go
Bowl
over
setting
races.
those fractions and still hanging in there and only losing because the wire happened to be when his head was coming up and Nisos was going down. What a phenomenal effort he put in. But Nisos, I've said on the show before, I've never really been on the Nisos bandwagon, but I can't deny that he just shows up every time. He's yet to run a bad race. I know there's been a lot of patience involved with getting him into the races, but I know now getting to kind of talk to his owners a little bit after the race and the press conference, I can see just how willing to be patient they are. I saw them at the barn the next morning giving him carrots and giving him love the next morning, so he's in good hands. He's being watched over as he's been going throughout his career dealing with some of these injury issues. And man, if we can get a stretch next year where he's 100% and we can watch what he can do throughout the year, we might be in for something special if we get to see that.
Rare case where the second place horse is off to the shed, the first place horse will be back, and the older horse will be back next year. Last thing I want to mention, Francis Henri Graffard wins the last race. I think that's a name we're going to hear in a lot of Breeders' Cups moving forward, and I want to make a bold
prediction. Are we going to hear
prediction.
it said like that every single time?
You're darn right. And I also think in his case, you'll start to see more of his horses in the New York style races as well. Now that he knows that the flat stuff's there, his horses like it. We're talking $600, $750, $1 million kind of purses in those races. That's going to be attractive. There's already a program to ship those horses over here. Watch the French turf racing the next couple of years. Their purses have surpassed Royal Ascot's. And so it's going to be very attractive to run at places like Deauville, like Chantilly. And so make sure that you are watching French turf racing the next couple of years, because I am predicting on the show right now, many winners coming out of those races straight over here to Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. The French racing, I think, continuing to get stronger, and he seems like a trainer that is going to be willing to travel, be one that's going to bring some of his top horses over, not just horses, bringing some of his top horses.
That's a 3-year-old filly. He ran her in the Arc just like Mini Hawk.
Yep.
And he, you know what? He did the correct thing for her. I'm not putting Mini Hawk down. He did the correct thing for her and ran her in that race.
Yeah, in the filly mare turf.
Perfect spot. That's exactly where she belonged. By the way, the rare case where the CAW is totally wrong. That number flipped up to like 7-8, but David Aragona, line maker, was totally right. Well, that'll wrap us for this week here on the program. We'll be back next week. Start our previews of the Claiming Crown, of course, and plenty to react to coming up this weekend as well. I want to thank our friends at FanDuel. Again, download the FanDuel Racing app right now and bet all the races worldwide with our friends over there at FanDuel. Appreciate them hanging out with us. And of course, we always remind you at this portion of the episode, if you're still hanging out with us, whether on Spotify or YouTube, give us a like, give us a follow. But of course, QR code at the bottom of the screen for BloodHorse Magazine, all the beautiful photos, but all of the great work that goes into that magazine as well. It is the foundation piece of what we do here at BloodHorse. You can always visit us at bloodhorse.com to get signed up for that as well. Make sure you get signed up for the daily, straight to your email every morning. Costs you nothing, gets you ready for the day with your horse racing fix in the morning. He's Sean. I'm Louie. We'll be back next week. The Blood Horse is dedicated to the improvement of thoroughbred breeding and racing for over 100 years. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and save Blood Horse Monday on all your platforms. For the latest news, analysis, and insights, visit us at bloodhorse.com.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.